Welcome back to the channel again. So it's been about today is, what is today? Today is Sunday. This got tuned on Thursday, and so I drove it for the first 2 days. I stopped driving it Saturday, but today I'll let you guys know what I actually made on the dyno. I kind of had some people upset because the last video was kind of clickbaity. But anyways, came here early to work today. Full house. Paint corrected this roof. Got here super early to do that on an Evo 9. This is one of the new shop builds. It's gonna be street tuned maybe next week. And the other car I paint corrected was like a 9 Gen Civic. It left already. But anyways, besides the point. Since I'm here early, I'm gonna make this video for you guys and talk about what the car made. But if anyone needs detailing in Jersey, this is my card with my information. I probably plug my Instagram, my detailing Instagram. But anyways, that's besides the point. If you guys watched the last video, you saw that at first my ethanol content wasn't reading correctly, but then that was quickly fixed. He just had to change some settings on his map. But at first, when I was there, he was tuning it. I asked him to do boost by gear, so it's like a boost by gear setup and everything. But there's an issue with that also, but I'm gonna get into that. First, when he was tuning it, I wasn't reading the dyno charts right. I kept looking at only the top power band, like the top number, out of the 3 poles, or however you read it. And it kept saying 350, 350. So I was thinking, okay, whatever, it's still on gate pressure. He's like still tuning gate pressure. But then my friend came in, he like just pulled up and wanted to see the car get tuned. He's like, oh shit, your car is already making 5. So the car on stock engine made, altogether, I didn't see this number, but altogether it made 630 horsepower, wheel horsepower on a dyno jet, I believe. And that blew my mind. Like, I couldn't imagine the car making that much on a stock engine without like blowing up right then and there. But anyways, the tuner tuned it down to 575. I'm gonna get a picture. He tuned it down to 575. That's the number I seen, but he said before that it did peak 630. He said, of course, that's way too much. My engine is still stock, no retainers or anything, the engine won't hold it. But it made 5 at the end. Let's see, right here, that's what he had it at. But I was like, no, that's like, in my head, it's still too much. My intention was to go in there 450 on pump gas and 500 on E85. It seemed like an easy goal to reach, and of course on E it was an easy goal to reach. But my pump gas ended up being 430 horsepower because, like I said, the engine is stock and he doesn't want to risk pushing anything on pump. So he stopped it at 430. He said that's enough, you know, for how the car will be on 430. That's fine. It's safe. Everything is good. But my new issue is when I asked him to do boost by gear, Honda Flash Pro only has like 1 setting for boost by gear. That being said, he explained it to me pretty much as I don't know how to explain it. At first I didn't understand it, but on 93 pump gas I could do boost by gear, that's fine. On 85 I could do boost by gear, that's fine. But I can't do boost by gear on both gas at the same time because of the Honda tuning capabilities. So I decided to do boost by gear on E85, and so I had him tune it down a little bit. So we made 550 in 4th gear. So 1st and 2nd is gate pressure, 3rd is like 4 something, and then 5th is all the power. Well, 4th through 6th is all the power, and that's 550. So now the issue with the boost by gear on pump gas, I can't do it because since I chose E85 as the gas content to do the boost by gear, I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but since I chose that, when the car is on 93 and I'm in 4th gear and I'm doing a pull, the car thinks it should be going to 550 horsepower, but it's on 93, and 550 on 93 non-build engine head, whatever the case is not safe. It will most likely blow up after a pull or two. It's just gonna go boom. So now what he told me is I need to make a switch to my boost solenoid, which is going to, I just tap into the wires, make the switch. Whenever I'm on 93, I just, you know, cut off the boost solenoid and the car will run on gate pressure, which is cool, but sucks because gate pressure, I have a small spring on purpose so I could hook in first and third. Gate pressure will only put me around 360-ish horsepower. I'm not completely sure, but that's around where it's at. And, you know, compared to freaking 500 horsepower and up, that's pretty slow. But, you know, it'll be a good maintaining horsepower where it's not going to break anything. It's not going to ruin anything. I could easily just swap it back on, put some E in it, and then make my full power. So that's, you know, that's kind of cool. That's kind of fine. But yeah, so next video is most likely going to be a video on me making the switch. I ordered it already. It should be here next week. It's Sunday right now. But yeah, I was super excited that the car even made over 500 so easy. Like, I didn't even expect this car to even peak 600 on a stock engine. Of course, if I kept it there, the car would blew up. But now what I'm really worried about is my trans. And for whoever's gonna watch this video, if you guys done Gear X, let me know how it is. And if you guys done PPG or did Gear X and then upgrade to PPG, let me know how that experience was, because I don't know if I should full send to PPG if I don't need to, and if Gear X would hold long enough or good enough for just, you know, 550. I don't want a lot of power. I didn't even want 550. I wanted 500. But I think the most power I will ever push in this car with a build trans and a build head, maybe a semi-build block or whatever the case is probably 650. Because after that, I'm just going to be struggling trying to hook the power. So, you know, there's no point if I'm never going to hook. I don't want to just be one of those guys who step on it and spin all day. I want to actually hook and make the numbers that the car could potentially make. But yeah, this is when I first noticed that it made 500. It's not focusing. So what I kept reading, guys, is just the top. I don't know why I didn't decide to look towards the bottom. Plus, it was kind of far away from me. I didn't, like, you know, see it properly. It's on a small screen. But besides the point, I didn't even notice it was already in the 500 club, like, a long time ago. And then where he wanted to stop, like I said, was 575. But I still felt like that was a little too much. So then he was it timing or something, whatever tuners do and they mess with, he dumbed it down like literally 1%. Because before, when he dumbed it down 2%, it made 520. So he said the slightest adjustment, you know, is a big gap in power. That's like 50. And so I told him, okay, just adjust it down 1 instead of 2. So we're assuming it's like 550. We're not sure, but 550 is a pretty safe guess if we was to guess. He didn't do like a final pull or anything on it. But I'm very happy with how the car is. I like I said, driven it for 2 days. I enjoy the car. I've given all my coworkers, most of my coworkers, rides, and everyone is like, it's like so much more quicker than last time. And because I'm in the freaking driver's seat, and now that I'm going, I have to, like, you know, fight with the torque steer and everything. I'm not even paying attention to like how fast or the feeling that is going. I'm just trying to keep the car straight. I got a passenger in the car, but everyone is saying is like so like crazy weight. Like, it just pulls and pull, and it just keep pulling. So the passenger seat experience probably feels crazy. I wish I could be a passenger. But realistically, being the transit stock, I don't like people driving my car, because, you know, people just want to go in a car, a Honda, rev it out, bang the gears, rev it out, bang the gears, and if shit breaks, no one is going to help me pay for it. So until that day, I'll just drive my own car, and I won't be a passenger. But I don't know what this car could do yet. I mean, I need gas, so that's another thing. It's on 2200cc injectors from Alpha Injection. The DW fuel return kit from Beachworks, and that 2 plus E85, I run through gas now. Like, that one, those 2 days, maybe 100 miles, maybe like 90 miles, I already need gas. And I have, like, since the Honda gas system's like bars, little little bars to measure how much gas you have. I have like 3 or 4, I think it has like 4 bars in this gas. But back when I had the 1200cc injectors, and I had 2 bars of gas with the fuel return, and just all that fuel being pumped and drained out of the, like pumped in and out of the system, whenever I take a hard turn on just 2 like a little more boxes of gas left, I can feel the car trying to cut out fuel. So now I'm thinking with 2200, I shouldn't let the car go into like 3 or 4 little boxes, because maybe it needs that much fuel to, like, you know, completely keep the car running properly without like slushing around when I'm taking a turn or whatever, and like cutting out fuel once in a blue. So right now I ordered the VP gas tanks too. I ordered 2 of those. So either I take the car to the gas station by where I used to live that sells E, and, you know, fill up there, and then when the gas cans come, I fill up the gas cans, or I just wait for the gas cans and just fill those up, bring it to work, fill up the car. You know, that's easier. I'm not gonna get stuck. But I mean, like I said, it has the flex fuel. I could put 93 in it also. I just can't step on it, because if I step on it, my boost by gear setting was gonna be off with the 93 horsepower rating. I don't know how to explain that, but when I make that switch, I won't have to worry about it. I could just drive the car whenever I want to, wherever I want to. I take this car on long drives usually, so I would never be stuck with the flex fuel. But so far, the car feels amazing. The trans is holding up, you know, knock on wood, because it will go eventually. I can't be mad when it goes. Hopefully it doesn't put me in a bad predicament when it does go. Hopefully I'm not like stuck in the middle of nowhere. But that's the update on the car. The car made 550-ish horsepower in 4th gear. In 3rd gear, 4 is in the 400s. Then the rest of it is gauge pressure. But yeah, the car is a completely different animal. It's hard to imagine that this car came with 197 horses from factory, and it peaked 600. That's like a 300% increase of power. That's super crazy. But this is still on the CX Racing kit. CX Racing kit, the precision turbo, and the new injectors, and the fuel return, and that's all it needed to make a safe 550. But anyways, that being said, it's over 1.5 years on a CX Racing turbo kit. I'm gonna show you the engine bay real quick. Over 1.5 years on a CX Racing turbo kit, and it's still pushing. Besides my stock CX Racing turbo becoming less efficient, not a single thing really has been an issue that wasn't like an installer error of things that I added on. Like when I did the fuel return, installer error was I forgot to add this vacuum line and make a relay for my fuel pump. So that was just installer error, or it was more of like overlooked. We forgot to do this and wasn't sure if I needed this 100%. But just whenever you do a fuel return, just put a relay to it. It's safer, and it'll help you in the long run. But everything is good. No oil leaks. Actually, now ever since the tune, I have no check engine light anymore, and I don't leak any more oil, because I had a saying, one of the videos of the install of the turbo, I showed that I installed the K-Tune oil pressure switch adapter, and now the turbo line, this one right here, runs straight through to the back where the oil pressure switch used to be, onto the adapter. The oil pressure switch is on the adapter, and this new line is on the oil pressure switch adapter also. So I took out my sandwich plate, and so now I just run my OEM filter straight into the OEM spot, no sandwich plate, and that adapter. And ever since, my car has been pretty good. It's no leaks, no nothing. Like usually there's a little small, not really a puddle, but just a small, you know, a couple drops. There's never a lot of oil, but it always sucked, because I'd rather not leak any oil compared to leaking anything. But yeah, just know you guys can make 500 plus horsepower CX Racing kit, swap out to a well brand name turbo, something more efficient, a fuel system, and decent side injectors, and there you go, 500 plus on a stock block Civic Si 8 Gen. The craziest budget build that I probably ever done. Well, never really built much things, but the craziest budget build that I seen that's holding up 100% flawlessly. No issues. Besides, if the trans go, that's not much of an issue. It's just too much power for the trans. If the head goes, that's if I run too much power, it will go if you beat on your car every day. You know, that's not a CX Racing Kit fault or a Detroit fuel system fault. That's just the extra steps you need to do to make it that much more reliable. But 500, 450 all day, CX Racing Kit, cheap. You could wait till, I think when I first bought it, it was like Black Friday, get a couple $100 off, and now I see they sell it without the turbo option. When I was buying the kit, you had to buy the turbo, and I had upgraded the turbo to a dual bar bearing one, and it was only like $250 more. So it was like, you know, fuck it, $250 more, upgraded my turbo. Mind you guys, my turbo isn't blown at any means. My old CX Racing turbo is not blown. The car still felt great on the CX Racing turbo. It still made 400 horses, I think like 415, even with the turbo becoming less efficient. Realistically, I don't even know if that's fully true. My old tuner just said that, and I was like, okay, you know, I don't know any better, but he has his way of telling. He said he could hear the difference and all this other stuff. So I took his word for it, got a new turbo, did a new, like, some minor adjustments here and there. And now from just swapping the turbo, the injectors and everything, I made a whole like 175 more horses. So if you want to save the money, not get the CX Racing turbo, or if you want to be really on a budget and get the CX Racing turbo, don't matter what, all day long, 1000cc injector minimum, you'll be over 400 horses with a CX Racing kit. So it's, as you know, it's pushing 2 years. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, actually it is pushing 2 years, because I installed this kit in December about 2 years ago, not last year, because I've been working at this job. Yes, it's about 2 years that this kit's been running strong. Mind you, I don't drive the car every day. I don't drive the car crazy, but when I drive the car and I'm stepping on it, I'm pushing it to the limit, just not every single day. Yeah, so the next video I'll be putting out is about the switch for the boost solenoid. Swap it out. I always wanted a low boost switch, but I wish I had a bigger spring in my wastegate now. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna make the switch. I'm already thinking I might as well put it right here because it's a blank spot. Just boop, boop, switch it, that's it. And I was also thinking with that switch, with 360 horses, that's like a perfect controllable power band and power for a road course. So if I ever do a road course, I could do 360 horsepower, and the car should be very controllable, wouldn't spin too much, everything like that. And if that road course happened to have a long straightaway where I can need all the power, and if say I'm running for like the best time or whatever the case is, I can probably have my car on E85, switch the switch on the straightaway, get all my power to get like a lower time, you know what I mean, and do that. But you know, you can't be switching on and off, shit might break. So but anyways, till next time, when I get that switch and install the switch, I'll show you guys the difference of, you know, driving and then cutting the power. Driving, the PSI should only go up but to like 7, 8 or something like that, because that's the spring I have. But like and subscribe. Don't like asking you guys. It's like my second time asking in like a year. But it'd really be nice if I can, you know, my subscriber counts could go up a little bit, and hopefully I can start making more consistent content instead of every month or so. So peace out till next time.